Right, I'm back after a little bit of figuring out. It turns out that you can't just plug this in afterwards. It's got to be plugged in before anything works. I found that out the hard way. The last time I guess I just stumbled across it just by doing it. So we're back here and we're gonna go back to the iPad. We'll go back to our settings like we did before. I'm just going to go through, make sure everything's okay. So we've got our Linksys hooked up. That's our router, and we'll head back over here. Now we can start up our Visi remote, and as I mentioned, it should just happen here, the 14621 SI Expression 2 for Soundcraft SI Expression 2. Click on that. We hope. Here we go. And all our stuff comes, all our settings that we've done up on here are back up and running now. Now anything that I do over here is going to translate over here. And what I've done as well is I've labeled everything up as good as I could. It's easier to do it on the iPad than it is on the unit. By doing that, you go to on the top, let's say this is kick, you hold that until that pops up, then you can change kick, change your numbers, we'll just say 01 just because, done, and it translates over there. Now anytime you come over here, you press your select button, it'll tell you right here what your instrument is. And I've carried all the way through on here, and I've run all my different things for this mix that I'm going to be working with a band on. Pre-planned it out at home, and we've got everything going. I guess there's a couple things that I didn't do on here. I just noticed channel 18 is bass DI, so we'll go here and we'll create like our bass DI here. Space, capital D, capital I, done. And I didn't do my guitars, it looks like, as well on DIS. Okay. Matte bagpipes on the next one here, channel 19. Bagpipes, you can name it how you want. I've named all musicians because I always forget who's what. You must hit the enter there. We're going to do our guitars now. Guitars left and guitars right. Get capital L. Quite simple. Keep nice and organized. And when you do your scene shot, you'll store all your information. It makes it a lot easier at the end of the day. Okay, from there, on this aspect of things, we can change everything we like to do. If we go back to our kick drum, for example, on our kick drum channel, we can hit this so we can adjust like any of our EQs. This isn't adjusted, I haven't done sound check yet, but you can change up all your EQs, do what you like with it, take out some of your mids, high mids, and go from there. And you can also go to your dynamics and adjust all your gates and your compressors on here as well as on here. I'm just giving you a little bit of a run through of the iPad thing. Miscellaneous stuff, like that's your in, your out, like your high pass filters and all that other stuff. And to get out of it, you go to back. And you can do the same thing with all your other stuff. You do all your adjustments, your sliders move. It actually works quite well once you've figured out that you have to hook up your wireless unit before you turn on your board, otherwise it's not going to work, as I just learned. A quirky little thing. There's a few little things that I found kind of quirky as well. But nonetheless, here we're going to move on, and the one thing that I found out is that I learned how to do all my mutes with my setup and everything. It works great on the on the face, on your front of house mix, but on your monitor mixes, it for whatever reason it doesn't work. If anybody knows of a way, please post like on the bottom of the page here, just to do. And if you've got any other tips that I'm missing out on, that you found that you figured out, please let me know as well. Just post the stuff as well, and I'll do the same thing. If there's any other tutorials you guys want to see on this, I'll do that. Moving forward, what I did to alleviate the thing of the monitor mutes, what happened to me this last, the first gig that I did with the SI Expression, is I did my sound check. Everything worked great. The board was working just fine and cute and everything, and I muted my fronts. And what ended up happening is that it was quite a large band, but there was a banjo player, a mandolin player, and an acoustic guitar player. And what they did is they left their guitars and mandolins and banjos all on, and just set them down right in front of the monitors, so it set off like a big feedback loop. So I was scrambling, trying to go to my things to mute all my channels, so on and so forth. In the meantime, it was killing everybody, so I just went back to my mains and I killed all the gains, which was the thing I found was a little bit annoying, is that you couldn't get to your mutes very fast. So I thought of a way of doing this, and that's through my cue list and whatnot, right? So I went to I stored a bunch of stuff. So I go to my cue list, and every time you go to store, you're storing up a new thing. We'll just do a different setting here. We'll do this store, and we're just going to keep this unnamed. You can change the name of everything. So you edit cue, you can change the name just by going up here. And we're just going to call this test, T-E-S-T. I'm going to apply it, and we're back here. So if we come back to our cue list, we can go to our starting point, brings that back up. We can go to our test that we just did, reverse smiley face, and what I did is I did a mute all, which mutes all of my channels and all of my monitors, if ever need be, right? Then I just did one that says mute monitors, and if I go back to my fronts aren't muted. I just did that as an emergency process in case something goes wrong, like I did on my first gig out with the board. There might be an easier way to set up your mutes, but I found that they just seem to work on the front of house mix. And we're back to our test. That's how simple it is. Remember your scene shots, and it's really good to do in between songs when you're doing your sound check, if you've got like the different effects, or anything else that you'd like to program in there, different bands within the same set. Instead of doing like a full show reboot or whatever, you can take this one and just do your edits and come back to your first band, second band, third band. That's what I've got for right now as far as the SI Expression 2. It's a really cool unit. I'm really quite pleased with it. It works well. The EQs are fantastic. The compression's great. The gate's great. I had to go through a lot of the effects to find effects that I liked and were easy to work with. We'll go through that on a different thing. I found the tutorials on that kind of stuff were really quite good on the Soundcraft website. Right now it's Ray signing off.